All right, guys. So if you weren't aware, yesterday we were actually expecting Bardock's details to come out for Genshin, but it looks like that is actually not the case. So I wanted to make a follow-up video here talking about when we could actually expect the Bardock details, and we'll just read a few comments as well from the community, just gauging what people are thinking. So we have a creator from the Squadra creator program here, Mike G, did confirm to us that while specific details cannot be given, they were actually told that the Bardock information was not dropping yesterday on the 22nd. At least in my time zone, the details usually come out around 7 p.m. the Thursday before the official release, which the character does usually release on the 27th in my time zone. For a majority of the people, it would be the day after, like, even if you're in EST, I think, but you guys kind of understand what I mean, where Bardock details are actually just delayed. Now, the specific reason for that, we do have a good guess for what's going to go on, but if you take a look here, Genki Damatsuri actually does start on the 24th at 4:45 p.m. There's actually going to be a panel with a bunch of different kind of games, right? So right here we see at 1400 GST, Dokkan Battle, Legends, and Genshin all do have a stage. So with this in mind, they're all going to basically give some announcements. I assume Dokkan will be showing some anniversary stuff. Legends does seem to have like some announcement and information coming out after Genki Damatsuri. We'll see what's that about. I mean, I guess I personally don't really cover Legends or care about it on the channel though. And then when it comes to Genshin Squadra, that would be interesting. I think that they might actually show Bardock off, and that could be really cool, to see Bardock's maybe full animations. I'm not sure if they would really specifically show his full kit there, but there are going to be some announcements. It could even be for just the future of Genshin Squadra or anything that is planned long term, like their gameplay goals and things like that. So we could maybe see another roadmap or something for Genshin. I think that could be really interesting. But a lot of exciting things will be coming for the games this year, and with this Genki Damatsuri, there should also be the new announcement of whatever the new Dragon Ball game is, which actually we do know that the new game announcement is right at the beginning, and there's also going to be a new announcement for, I think, some project. We don't know what the project is, but again, this is really exciting. Now, I think they're just kind of just saving everything for Genki Damatsuri, like we said. That's really cool. I guess, it's not like the biggest deal that we'll have to wait an extra few days for the details, but I know a lot of people were really interested to see what the details were going to be. There's actually one or two things I missed in the original video I made about Bardock changing the future of Genshin. And he says like maybe he did change the future of Genshin because the release schedule is different now in terms of the details anyway. So of course everything, yeah. Hope we never go another season without a tank again. It's crazy how little there are compared to DPS. I did comment on this, in the original, like, I don't think on this video, but in another one. And I think something that, does need to be kind of noticed is that there are 2 DPS per match. So there's actually going to usually be twice as many DPS, if not more. Now, if we take a look here at the amount of damage characters available, we have 3, 6, 9, 12. And then we have, I can't add 12 plus 2, apparently 14 of the damage characters. We have a total of 7 tank characters and a total of 8 technical characters. So after we get Bardock, it's actually going to be, I think, pretty even, where we're going to have, again, 14 DPS, then 8 tank and 8 technical. If anything, we might need 2 more DPS to kind of even that out. I think that we should have double the amount of DPS characters in comparison to tank and technical, because we have 2 DPS characters. And given that this is Dragon Ball as well, I feel like naturally we'll just see a lot more damage role characters anyways, but that's just something to go ahead and keep in mind. I mean, it doesn't have to be that specific exact number. It would be nice to have more tank and technical characters for sure, especially because when you consider them like, oh, I want to play, I'm solo queuing, I want to play this role. I'm solo queuing, I want to play this role. Well, you have way more options if you're doing something like that. Or you know, even if you're playing with friends, you still just have way more options to pick a favorite character for the role that you like, if you like DPS compared to tank or tech. And it leads to a huge diversity when it comes to this role. But like I said again, there's always gonna be two DPS characters, so that's why it needs the extra firepower compared to the other two. So that's that. I think that they should, in my opinion, that's weird because there's going to be certain seasons where they have two DPS characters like this one. I can see maybe next season we get DPS technical and then maybe another tank, or DPS technical then attacker, then we go DPS technical tank, DPS technical DPS, you know, like we'll switch back and forth between a lot of these different ones. I've had before, you can actually see the ultimate in Squadron Talk Season 3. It's like a big blue key ball, launches very fast, pushes enemies back. And then they actually confirmed the time for me here, so I do have it brought up. This is something I did not look at when we were covering Bardock's initial details in yesterday's video. But if we take a look here, we could see it is like an orb that pushes people back. It does look to be pretty powerful and very reminiscent of what Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's ultimate looks like. Now, Vegeta's ultimate is a consistent, like, kind of push. Bardock's ultimate is just a big single push. So I'm not sure how good it's going to be in comparison. It does look like it does explode after a while, so I wonder like how this is going to work. We don't know what this does. I mean, we don't know what effects it gives the enemies. We don't know if it gives allies buffs. Just, you know, based off the effects alone, though, and just like how the ultimate looks like, does kind of look like a slightly worse version, I think, of Vegeta's ultimate. Because the thing about Vegeta's ultimate is that you're able to move it and consistently push enemies back, and it lasts a lot longer than what Bardock's ultimate does. So, who knows? I can't really say for sure what this Bardock ult is going to do, but it looks kind of cool, so, you know, we'll definitely take it. Yeah, Bardock is going to change the meta. I do hope that Bardock shakes things up and can make other characters more interesting, change everything. You gotta add like 20 more tanks. A lot of people want more tank characters, but I feel like tank is in a good spot. I guess, you know, to be fair, I mean, okay, when we think about season one we did not get a tank, but in both season 2 and season 3 we have a brand new tank character, right? I just think that people are tired of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is my personal guess. I really do think people are tired of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I guess to be fair, in season 1 and 2 we both had a technical, right, added. I think when this season ends, people are gonna be like, well, I think the difference is, I still feel like no matter what technical, we've always seen a larger choice of people using different technicals throughout the different seasons compared to tank. I feel like tank has always had a slight issue. It's looking a lot better now, this meta, I feel like, with Cooler and Caulifla being more competitive, Baby's more competitive, even Super Saiyan Vegeta could do some things. Again, like I said, buff these two, slightly nerf Vegeta again, and then bring Bardock in, make him balanced. Even if it's like these top 4 and then these 4, like, you know, a second tier under, like that would still be really good. I think Cell in particular could be very good if he doesn't have the worst end game, or if he didn't have the worst early game, just like across the entire roster. Cell would actually be a pretty good character. It's really funny because when people talk about Cell, they're always like, oh man, Cell cooks for me. Cell just looks so good. And that's just because I think a lot of people don't know how to play against Cell early on, and that you could just like, you apply the slightest bit of extra pressure against Cell and he pops like a balloon, right? It may feel as gauge earlier, but then it's just like, okay, well now you have an advantage, you get Kai, you get XP advantage, it's harder for them to contest against you for XP in the middle, and then they just Cell like inherently gets, you know, just screwed over by that because he wants to keep fighting, but then since the enemy has a level advantage, it's stupid for you to jump into a fight when you have a level disadvantage, so you have to go and back farm, which is way less efficient for him. That's the issue. Make him actually contest early on, and even if he doesn't win, it's not like he has to, oh, I'm just dead now. because I lose this interaction, you know? If you play smart, of course, especially, you know, with this skill 3 potentially available. But that's the only issue. DPS Broly being a multi-transformation tank would be nice. I wonder if they will ever do multi-transformation characters. I feel like we could get Broly Wrathful and then Legendary Super Saiyan, or I guess it's full power Super Saiyan Broly. For Dragon Ball Super probably has 2 different characters, honestly. Yeah, that's what I would think. Just tanks and strats. Kind of spoiled with attackers with all 3 so far. I mean, I guess we've gotten, again, 2 in Season 1, 2 in Season 3, and then 1 in Season 2, but I mean, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to this if we get, like, next season, so we would have 8 tanks and then 8 technicals after this season. I think we'll probably get Season 4 with more damage, but then after that, it's like Season 5, maybe we can get, okay, let's say next season is 2 damage and then a technical, or yeah, 2 damage and a tank, and then the season after is 2 technicals and a tank. I just don't know if they would do that. Again, that's just like, I don't know. I don't really think that they would do that, because damage roll is probably by far the most like picked roll, is what I would say. Not even just like considering the fact that there's 2 damage roll slots, but I think people, even if there's just like damage, tank, and technical, and it was a 3-player game, people would be picking damage the most, right? The flight mode doesn't do look like a stagger. Yeah, his skill too, because the player model tends to vibrate side by side. But it's a gimmick. Bardock stays in flight long enough and the attack builds up momentum and charge, and a stagger is a small arc. Ooh, so you're saying like kind of like Kid Gohan skill too, but like not how much you charge, but how far he flies. Or that's more like Piccolo, I guess, where it's like the farther you are from the enemy, the more like damage increases as it travels. What's the description on Piccolo? Specifically, kind of like that, where yeah, damage and AoE explosion increases the further away a target is. So like again, the further away it hits someone, the more damage and AoE explosion that this actually does. Kind of like the same, where it's like the further away a target is from the activation point, is the greater effect that this could provide. Maybe, who knows? It's gonna be like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta without needing a wall if you could just stun. Always appreciate the news and gameplay videos. Give it up. Thank you. Also, I think for Sans Mossy would be quite powerful, especially when running with Pursuer. I think a good finisher buff for the 2 would put them in a good place. Yeah, just like a good extra buff for them. Super high for Bardock. Exactly. Everyone's ready for Bardock, honestly. If Zamasu played like in the Project Multi Beta, it would be cracked because its passive gave me healing, but infinite healing. You did not have a heal bar that you had by hitting NPCs. No, the hit was constant. I think I don't recall actually. I'm pretty sure he had the bar available from ever since the Project Multi Beta. It's just that we had a lot more health in that beta, so it just felt like he just had infinite health, right? And also, you know, a lot of us, to be fair, like during the beta test, I would say like 99% of people didn't really know how to play the game, including me. So, you know, it was a long time ago. It was like, what? Wasn't the Project Multi Beta in 2020? It's like 2023 or 2024? I think it was 2024. But yeah, that's like 9th anniversary for Dokkan, bro. That's crazy. Okay, but anyways, there's not much else for me to really say here. I mean, I guess I don't know if I got any replies on Twitter on this specifically. Also, check out Mike's video. Of course, Mike is the one who did kind of talk about this. That's my goat right there. No, it's just me saying my video today is wrong. Yeah, we were all waiting for the details, but unfortunately, they did not come out. Either way, I appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.